You know that bottle of alcohol that you've got sitting on your shelf that you haven't touched in months because, quite frankly, it sucks and it's cheap. Well, in today's episode, I'm going to show you how to take that cheap liquor and turn it into something that is actually pretty respectable. Thanks a lot for joining us. My name is Eric. Let's get into it. For this video, I went out and bought the cheapest rum I can get my hands on, but you don't have to use rum. Any alcohol will work for this project. Gin, vodka, tequila, whiskey, it really doesn't matter. Preferably something you already have on your counter that's been there for quite some time that you're not too really fond of. Use that because we're going to transform it into something spectacular. The bottle of rum that I ended up with cost me $5. Let's see what we're working with. I'm just going to pour me a tiny little bit right there. Okay. It's a cheap rum. Nothing special about this particular rum. Probably great as a mixer. We are going to change that and turn this from a mixing rum into a standalone sipping rum that's going to be absolutely amazing. Let me show you how. First thing we got to do is get our hands on some wood chips. Now, I'm going to be using those classic flavors, typically used for smoking meats. And just a word of caution, not all woods are suitable for aging spirits. Some are actually toxic. So if you're going to be using a wood that I'm not showing in this video, you definitely want to look it up to make sure that it is safe. All right, our first wood is pecan wood. Great wood for smoking sausage, especially on Dewey. Next up, we're going to be using a mesquite. I can't wait to see what flavor this brings. That'll be quite interesting. We've also got cherry wood, nice mild fruit wood there. And then we've got a bag of Jack Daniel's whiskey barrel smoking chips. This is white American oak. This is wood from their barrels, all chipped up and whatnot. And this wood should deliver a rock solid product. If you need a bag of that, check the description box below. I'll put a link. I got it on Amazon. All right, so here's our wood selection. I actually have a fifth one. It's going to be apple wood. We're going to be using that here. I'll show you here in a minute. And what we're going to do is add layers of flavor to our rum through the wood, and we're going to do that by toasting the wood. When you toast your wood, you're basically unlocking flavor compounds from the wood itself. And depending on what temperature you toast the wood at will determine what flavors you can unlock. So I'm only going to show you one example, but I literally had to do this for all 5 of the woods. And if you check the description box below, I'll put a link to a page that talks about, what flavors you can get when you toast at certain temperatures. You can get almond and sweet and vanilla and toasty and oaky, and just really depends on what you're going to go for. You can toast all your wood at one temperature, or what I'm going to do is toast the wood at 3 different temperatures. So I'm just going to divide those wood chips into 3 bins. Each bin is going to be toasted at a different temperature, which is going to bring its own unique flavors. So here we go. One bin is going to be toasted at 220 Fahrenheit. This bin in the middle, 280 Fahrenheit. And this bin right here, 400 Fahrenheit. And we're going to toast those for anywhere between an hour to 2 hours. The wood chips aren't that big. All right, so into the oven they go. This is what they look like now that they've come out. I think I ended up toasting for an hour and a half. Now I want to give them a char. This particular step is going to also add its own flavor characteristics to our rum or whatever spirit you end up using. And you can do a light, a medium, or a heavy char. I'm going to be doing a heavy char, and I just want to make sure that I don't burn the wood. I just want to get it black on the outside. All of this really comes down to personal preference, and you can really have a lot of fun experimenting with the different flavors that you get, at different toast points and at different char levels. And there we go. Our wood is charred up nicely. We've got our 3 different toast points, and I want to keep them separate. Otherwise, I'll never know, which one is which. And at this point, what we need to do is we need to go ahead, weigh out how much wood we're going to be using. I personally like to use 30 grams per pint. That's 15 grams a cup, and that's going to age really quickly. I mean, within 5 to 7 days, your product will be ready. All right, so let me show you what I'm doing. We need 30 grams total of wood, and so I'm taking 10 grams from each toast point, and we're adding it to that cup. So the wood toasted at 220 is now in the cup. We're now adding the wood toasted at 280 Fahrenheit, and then we're going to finally add the wood toasted at 400 Fahrenheit, and this sort of evenly distributes those flavors. But like I said earlier, personal preference. If you want to go heavier on the wood toasted, to get that vanilla flavor, by all means, have at it. It's going to be amazing. Okay, we've got our 30 grams of wood total. Now remember, this is going to be for 1 pint or 2 cups of whatever spirit you want to age. And we've got all of our woods ready to go. All right, so this next little step, we just want to wash off any of the soot, any loose debris that might be on the wood. And so I'm just going to add a little bit of water. You'll notice that the wood's immediately going to float. That's okay. and we're going to let that sit in that water. We're going to give it just a little rinse, just to knock off any, like I said, any of that debris, any of that soot that might have happened from the charring. We're just going to get that going like that. And then after about 5 minutes of sitting in that water, letting some of that debris settle to the ground, we are just going to remove the wood chips themselves and set those to the side. And there we go. And so now we have our kind of cleaned off wood chips. Let's go ahead and get our rum ready. This is a 1 pint mason jar, ½ liter. Basically 2 cups, and we're going to fill it up almost to the top. Let's go ahead and get the other jars ready, and all the hard work is now officially behind us. At this point, all we've got to do is add the wood to our rum, close it off, and then we wait. This is going to hang out in our kitchen where the temperature is going to be between 70 and 80, 85 Fahrenheit. Really, it doesn't matter, what the temperature is. Just put it in your kitchen, leave it alone, and then give it a check after about a week. If you like the way that it tastes, it is done. If you feel like you want to develop more flavor, let it continue aging, test it after another week, and then make that assessment. Like I said earlier, it is completely up to you. This is what our rum looks like after 1 week of aging. Absolutely magnificent color development. And this last little step is what you're going to do once you have tasted it and you're fine with the way that it tastes. We're just going to take a coffee filter, stick it inside of another mason jar. I find this way to be the easiest, but you could filter this however you want. If you have cheesecloth, that would work as well. Maybe a couple different layers of cheesecloth. And put the lid back on the mason jar. That's going to secure the filter. And we're just going to go ahead and get that. Oh, wow. Just opening up the jar just presents this extraordinary aroma. Wow. Ooh, this is going to be fun. Once I'm done filtering, I'm going to remove the filter, give it a little squeeze to get any of that excess liquid into the cup, and you are done. Okay, what do they taste like? And I gotta be honest, I have been waiting for this day all week. And this is such a fun project. I mean, you could take a really cheap bottle of alcohol and create countless different flavors depending on your wood selection, how you toast it, how you char it, and then of course, how you age it. And although we toasted our wood at 3 separate temperatures, you totally don't have to do that. I mean, we're being a little extra. You technically could just do 1 simple toast, give it a nice medium char, and your end result is going to be exponentially better than what you started off with. Trust me on that. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the apple wood. This is 1 week aging, and as you can see, this is absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful kind of reddish tint to the color. Let's see what it smells like. Huh. Nice. That's got a very subtle, almost sweet type aroma. A little fruity, a little smoky, very, very pleasant. Let's give it a taste. Applewood going in. Wow. Okay, for starters, we have completely changed the way this alcohol tastes, and we have added a complexity of flavors to what is now in that jar. I mean, this applewood has this buttery, toasty pie crust thing going on with a hint of vanilla. Definitely there's these fruity notes. It's nice and mild, so I wouldn't say it's overwhelming in any way. It is actually quite tasty. All right, applewood is a winner. Let's now go with another fruit wood, cherry. All right, so here's the cherry wood. It is a little lighter than the applewood, if you can see right there. And this probably could have aged for a little bit longer. My guess is that let's see here, the wood chips. Yep, the wood chips in the cherry were a little larger than the wood chips in the apple, so the apple aged a little bit faster. Beautiful looking color, golden hue. It's a bit of an amber tint to it. Let's see how it smells. Wow, very different than the apple. I mean, it definitely still has those fruity aromas, but this one is leaning a little more towards the citrus. It's got that like a vanilla element to it. Let's give it a taste. Huh. Wow, that is really nice. This is coming off extremely bright. I mean, all of those fruity notes that we tasted are coming in. They're playing off each other beautifully. We got the vanilla, we got the citrus. Lightly toasted, mildly sweet. I mean, it's almost coming in like a well-rounded brandy without that, you know, sweetness that a brandy typically has. This is really nice. I'm actually curious what maybe another 4 or 5 days of aging would do, but just like this, absolutely beautiful. Great improvement to the original liquor. And I just want to say that all of these we're tasting exactly as is. If you were to add an ice cube or two, let it bloom for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, it's going to open up those aromas. It's going to open up those flavors. You're going to start to smell and taste things that you wouldn't normally smell and taste at this stage. But at this stage, I'm loving it. All right, the next flavor is the pecan, and this looks absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful, almost reddish amber hue to it. Looks amazing. Let's see how it smells. Oh, wow. This particular wood has this very interesting, almost like rounded, nutty aroma that's mildly sweet. That's actually very hard to describe. Let's give it a taste and see what it's like. Oh, wow, I like that. I mean, this has got some beautiful complexity to it. It's got a toasted nut quality about it, and it's got this almost spiced element, but not in a bad way. Almost spiced as you would have like a holiday dessert. I like the subtlety of the pecan wood. I mean, it's got this flavor that keeps the drinker guessing, like what exactly is that? Trying to find, you know, where those flavors are coming from. I mean, that is quite nice. Okay, that is the pecan. We are going to be saving the best for last. That is the classic white American oak. Let's go with the mesquite right now. This is what the mesquite looks like. Definitely lighter in color. Once again, this probably could have been aged a little bit longer. The chips for the mesquite wood were a little larger than some of the other ones, so we probably could have let this go a little longer. When you compare it to the oak, can you see the difference here? Yep. Okay, let's go ahead and give it a smell and see what that's all about. Oh, wow. That is so unique. It's so different. Like, if I had to do a blind smell test of all of these, this one would be the most pronounced. It has a cookie, almost vanilla-like aroma, slightly sweet, a little woody, a little smoky. I mean, as crazy as this sounds, it smells like a theme park. I don't know what that means. Let's give it a taste and see how it tastes. Okay. Wow. That is definitely different. I gotta say that it has a strange barbecue element to it, and that may be my association between, you know, mesquite and sausages and barbecue that we do. There is a nice smokiness to it, almost like a toasty quality. The flavors in this particular wood are more bold than the other ones, in my opinion. And although it's not bad, I think that it's probably not for me. I think I would reserve mesquite for smoking woods, but it's definitely very, very interesting. Maybe it would be nice to finish off another flavor with a little bit of mesquite to kind of add the complexity that this has inside of it. But by itself, it's a little in your face, still very drinkable, not a problem there. Let's go ahead and taste the classic Jack Daniel's White American Oak. Look at that. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. We've got this dark amber color. This is aged for 1 week. Let's see how it smells. There is a reason that white American oak is used to age spirits. I mean, it is just remarkable. On the nose, you get this fresh leather, you get this oaky sweetness. Almost like a shortbread element to it. Golly, that smells incredible. So far, this one has the most complexity on the nose. Let's give it a taste. All right, here it goes. Wow. You would never, ever think that this was just aged 1 week, especially coming from the alcohol that we came from. I mean, this has these beautiful caramel, almost kind of like a salted caramel notes. It's got these butter toffee elements to it. I'm definitely picking up the shortbread. There's a beautiful oaky, toasty, like sweetness coming from this. That's got a beautiful mouthfeel. It's got a great finish. I mean, this right here, that's a $50 bottle of rum right there, no joke. And we have 5 flavors in front of us, and I got to tell you, the white American oak, the Jack Daniel wood chips were my absolute favorite, but the cherry, the pecan, and the apple were all incredibly tasty. The mesquite, I would have to say, it is incredibly unique. It's just not necessarily the flavor that I'm looking for in a spirit. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. And if you've already done an experiment like this, I'd love to hear what woods have worked for you and what woods have not worked for you. Leave that in the comment section below as well. If you like this video, give it a great big thumbs up. And if you are new here, don't forget to click that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss a single one of our uploads. Thanks a lot for being here. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.